guys, welcome once again to another panel chat on the real on RHOP actually. Today we're going to be talking about the episode 10. Oh, what I'm going to say, seems like today's episode was more of a filler, and the episode was really not enjoyable. I don't know what's going on in the house of Bravo. It seems like they're actually losing their touch when it comes to their show. I don't know if you felt that same way when you watched the episode.
Well, the same conversations, I don't know how many times we can go over it, same friendships that's probably never going to work. I don't know how many times we got to keep seeing it. It was just too much of the same old stuff.
Yeah, I'm literally tired. I don't know. Do you know how many episodes is going to be in this season?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure,
Right,
but I know they couldn't have too many more left.
right. Because they've already done the mid season, right?
Right.
Oh, because they really need to have a change in the episodes. Like, it was not giving a lot. Huh? Let's not go ahead and nag a lot about the episode.
Okay.
Before we go ahead and talk about the episode, don't forget to like and comment. The more you like, the more YouTube recommends this video. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button down below to subscribe to our individual YouTube channels. So let's go ahead and talk about it. In today's episode, we got to see Juan and Robin go to a therapist. I felt like this scene was unnecessary. I didn't get anything from it. I didn't understand why they showed us. The only reason why I'm talking about it is because of the text she received from
Candiace.
Candace, and her trying to be like invite her to the Mother's Day event that she was having. That's the only thing I want to talk about with this scene. And I also want to talk about the way that one was like, yeah, she's trying. Like, that's an amazing thing. I don't understand. Does one want Robin to be friends with Candice? Because I don't understand. I feel like he tends to be more lenient with Candice than I think, in my opinion, I think he prefers Robin being friends with Candice than being with friends with Giselle. I think that's it. Because he was like, oh, she did an amazing job trying sending you the text. Her face said it all. Like she doesn't like her husband always supporting Candice at all, always being on Candice's side. Or he always does that. How did you feel about his response to the message? And do you feel like truly he does prefer Candice to be friends with Giselle or to be friends with uh, Robin?
Yeah, I seen that facial expression too when he was like, "Oh, that's good," or "That's nice," or whatever he commented. I just think that Juan wants her to be friends with anybody and everybody, as long as they're not discussing him, you know, and as long as she's not bringing all that finger pointing to him and giving her new ideas, you know. I just think
Yeah,
he wants Robin out of his hair.
really?
Yeah, I do because Juan seems like the type of guy he's gonna do what he wants to do. He didn't want to sign a prenup, you know, in case there's accusations of cheating again. He wasn't gonna sign that because he knew darn well he was gonna do what he wanted to do And Robyn was gonna sit there and take it, and now he could take half of what she got, if there was a split. So yeah, he could care one way or the other about who Robyn is friends with. It doesn't concern him, long as it ain't one of his side chicks.
OMG.
But that's how I feel about that.
Oh, what about you, Shopri? Do you feel like he just wants her to be friends with Candice, or he kind of prefer her friendship with Candice than the one she has with Giselle?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And he's a guy too, so he probably doesn't even really think that hard about that sort of thing.
Probably, but it's sad that every time he's always in the opposite direction of her thinking. She doesn't, I don't think she always likes when he's like, oh yeah, she's doing a good thing. Yeah. Candice, yeah, why are you taking it personal? He looks as if he's always in support of Candice and never really takes up for her as his wife.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Doesn't really take up for her, and that part I feel bad for her because I believe I don't believe in, oh, because you're my enemy you should be also be enemies to my enemy, but I believe at a certain stage you should understand where I'm coming from and respect my decision or my opinions. Yes, you might try to tell me, okay, this is not making sense, but at least respect it. That's how I feel. But moving forward, I love this. We had to see Miss Karen and her daughter, amazing daughter, going to get a tattoo together. I literally thought the tattoo was going to be a big tattoo. I was surprised it's just a G.
I thought it
And the
was
way
so
she,
small.
yeah, very small. She was screaming. The way she was screaming was making me laugh. The way she was screaming was so funny. I like Karen. I don't know. I just love her. And her daughter is also a fresh air, a breath of fresh air. And I love that they were doing it together as a mother and daughter duo. So it was nice to know that they have that kind of relationship, that kind of friendship, that they could decide to embark on this journey together. So I'm living for it. I'm living for it. But we later got to see her discussing with her daughter to meet Giselle and her daughter because they were going off to college. And she wanted her to speak with Giselle's daughter. Sorry. Um she wanted to have to speak with Giselle's daughter to make her understand how it is since she has the feeling of being away from college. The fact is, as I'm going through everything, I realized that we didn't really have anything in this episode. Really. We didn't really nothing really happened in the episode actually. But how did you feel about Giselle? She had to when she was talking with her daughter was looking at her like, oh, I thought you and Giselle were no friends, and she was like, we're in a good place now. How did you how did you think about it that she talked down her daughter because her daughter was like taking her side in the fight? She talked down her daughter and she was able to like, adjust herself and become friendly with the whole situation between Giselle, her mom, and still give her own opinion to her daughter, to Giselle's daughter.
Well, I don't know. Giselle and Karen have been friends, as they said, for years. I think they were some of the first friends out of all the friends now, of that
Yeah.
group. So they fight like sisters, basically. You know, 1 month they're mad at each other, 3 months later they're back kind of cordial, and then 2 months after that they're best buds. you know. So they're going to have that back and forth relationship, you know. I don't know if it has anything to do with, I'm more jazzier than you and I'm the grand dame, but, you know, I'm more elegant than you, or, yeah, I don't know what the beef is between the two of them, but, it was cool that they were able to get together, you know, for the sake of a storyline, and to have their two daughters to be a part of it, but I didn't really get anything out of that scene. I guess whatever they were trying to deliver, I didn't get it, other than, you know, it's your daughter's first time away from home and what she can possibly expect being at a college dorm by herself, you know. So I didn't really get too much out of that scene.
Yeah, it was cute seeing the girls with their moms. That was cute. But you're right, the episode really didn't have anything going on until the end. But it was a break from the monotony that we've had for the past couple of seasons. By now, the girls are all grown up. It was cute, and I
Yeah.
guess it went along with the theme about it being about mothers. And that's all I have to say.
Anyways, moving forward, we got to see Neka again in today's episode and her beautiful sister. I'm not gonna lie, her sister is more beautiful than she is. Like I like Neka's sister. I did. Do you know when I saw somebody walking in, I did think it was gonna be Lebe. Do you know what I? That's what I thought.
Lebe.
I think when I saw, I was like, yeah, we finally seeing Lebe having a chat with Neka, and it's her sister. I was like, oh damn, no. I thought you were gonna give us Lebe. Let's now finally bury all this nonsense once and for all. Let's know who is lying, who's not lying, who is just forming a storyline, you know. Which was her sister. And they just went shopping. Who know what they were thinking when they were doing this episode? Because I was like, okay, you're showing us Neka, you're showing us her sister, and they're going shopping. Didn't you find it surprising that all of a sudden her sister was there and we didn't hear that storyline that much in the episode?
Yeah, I did find that a little strange. But I first want to ask you, how do you pronounce your sister's name?
In Judeka.
Injadeka?
Yeah.
Okay, very pretty, very pretty. Um, yeah, I thought it was kind of strange that all of a sudden, we see her sister pop up. I didn't even know she had a sibling. You know what I'm saying? Because she's never
Mm-hmm.
mentioned it before, you know, and all of a
Yeah, she
sudden,
only mentioned Lebe every time Lebe.
yeah, and all of a sudden she pops up with her sister. They're doing shopping for her newly renovated house. You know, the only thing I really was looking at was the furniture. There was some beautiful furniture there, so
Yeah.
yeah, their conversation, beginning as a kid, cute, other than trying to see what furniture store that is, so maybe I can order some pieces.
I think they showed the front of the building when they first before they walked in. I think they showed it.
Yes, they showed the front of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Why may I say I find it strange? Because I feel like if I'm having this kind of issues with a family member and I'm sitting down with my sister and I have an opportunity to have a conversation with my sister alone in private, I would literally, that would be the first topic I want to talk about. Like, oh, so you remember I talked to Lebe, our cousin, that's how it is, like gossip with your sister, like, oh, and this kind of thing is happening within our family. I did expect it to happen. Like, I was waiting. I was waiting.
Yeah, I was waiting for that
Because if there was
conversation
one
too.
person that would have the full story, it was gonna be her and her sister. But all of a sudden, the sister showed up in the episode. We never heard that storyline all true. That is giving me sauce. It's giving me, yeah.
Well, the sister does seem like she's kind of mature. So maybe she's probably not here for the mess, but they look like twins.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
did.
they were
Yeah.
so pretty. They were so tall, and like
Yeah.
sister's a doctor, and I'm like, wow. So now I can. I'm sorry. Were you done with your thought?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I'll wait. I'll wait till we get to the dinner and the
Okay.
fact that Wendy didn't show up. I'll talk about that then. But yeah, it was just so nice seeing them. Sister, they look like twins. I enjoyed the little scene. It was nice, having someone different there. And she had posted on her Instagram that her sister was gonna join, be on the show tonight. So,
But the question of, was it necessary? What was the what did it change? Did it
oh,
change? Like I, I
because
expect
it was
when you want to bring, yeah,
no, go ahead.
I expect when you want to bring somebody on the show, okay, especially, okay, let's say, probably let it be that this is the introduction to her. Like they want us to know that this is who she is, right? But I
Right. I
believe
mean,
that if somebody is coming to a show, there's an angle.
Well, it
right.
was about mothers, and so her mother was in Wisconsin. So the sister was going to take the place because her mother was not going to be on the episode. So if you notice, Ashley was with her mom, Giselle was
Yeah, it
with
was a
the
Mother's
kids.
Day event. Yeah.
Right. So that's probably why the sister was on the episode.
Right, but I still would have kind of informed my sister of like what's going on, the problems that I've run
I'm
into,
facing.
and
Yeah,
what's being said, because I'm not gonna let you walk into it blindly. Make your own opinion, but I'm not gonna let you walk into it blindly. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Maybe they had the discussion, but since Wendy didn't show, then maybe that's why they didn't show us that part.
Mhm.
No, we don't give Wendy grace, so we cannot give Neka grace too.
Oh,
Exactly. We don't give Wendy grace for when we think that she's lying in some things, so we just can't give Neka grace.
let's see what happens once NECA comes there for her Nigerian wedding and you run into her, and let's see how you're going to react then. You're going to be taking photos with
Why
her
would I
You say
why would
photo
I run
ops,
into
huh?
Neka for her wedding?
because she's supposed to
Mhm.
be coming there for her wedding, right? She's going to be having a Nigerian
Yeah.
wedding.
The fact is that over here in Nigeria, she's not liked. So I
Oh,
don't think anybody was that
Wow.
pleased to have her. Actually,
oh,
she isn't liked. Like, she is not liked. One thing about Nigerians, like, yeah, we might know we have some things wrong. Maybe yes, we have issues with our cultures and tradition, but we don't like you going out and calling it out without having the full info or saying it like it is. So we're gonna have a grudge with you, and that grudge has been held by some people in Nigeria. Like people don't really send for her. Like here, people don't people don't rate her. A lot of people right here that literally love watching RHOP, because of her, they literally stopped.
mm,
I know a lot of people that stopped watching the show because they were not interested in literally having to watch that storyline because it felt like, mm, no. So she's not really that liked in Nigeria. So I don't think I would want to be
jeez.
going to sorry, the ceremony where she is. So uh,
Yeah,
we're
I,
good.
I don't know if that was a reality TV bloop when they were drinking out of those long champagne flukes. Did you guys see the price tags at the bottom? They were discounted. I mean, hey, I love a discount, but at least if it's gonna be on television, take the tag off the bottom, the little gummy tag.
No, was this at
Oh,
the dinner
No,
or
it
at
was
this
there.
furniture store? Oh,
It was at the furniture store.
I have to watch that.
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
and then the glasses were. It was like a discount red, pinkish tag on the bottom. Look, I know a discount tag when I see it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I seen that. I was like, really? You guys gonna keep on tossing them cups up, and every time you see that tag, yeah, I just didn't know if that was like a blooper or were they aware? You know,
Probably they didn't notice, actually.
well,
Probably.
at least they were drinking out of brand new glasses. Hope they were rinsed.
Right. That's a good point.
Uh, well, let's go to the most relevant thing of yesterday's episode, and that was Candace event. I'm gonna say for the whole season, this Candice event has been the most elegant event since the season started. This event was giving elegance, like it was beautiful. She put in her thought into the planning, and I love that. And that's why I kind of like Candice. She put in thought in most of the things that she usually do. So I did like this event. I love the decor. I love the inspiration. I loved everything. I was surprised she have invited Ashley and did not invite. Okay, well, she said she invited Ashley because of her mom. She's close to Ashley's mom. I understood why there was no Giselle. And were you surprised when Robyn didn't show up and she replied back in the text message saying that she wasn't gonna show up?
Not at all. I mean, I expected that. I wouldn't have showed up either. If I'm having issues with you, I'm not gonna sit back and break bread with you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I wasn't shocked, and I do think that that was a beautiful event. You know, I was just some of the women were dressed really, really beautifully, and then
Yes.
some not so much. You know,
Who
but
was
I
the
thought
not
it was
so much?
yeah. You know, but I think it was a beautiful event.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. We had this conversation between Cherise and Mia, and Cherise was saying she met up with Jacqueline when she went somewhere, and Neka came into the equation, and first Jacqueline was crying over their lost friendship, then went over to telling all of Mia's business to Neka that she just met. I don't think that was the first time they met. They met in Ashley's housewarming, right? Because I saw Jacqueline there. Oh, am I forgetting?
I don't remember seeing Jacqueline
Jacqueline was
there.
in Ashley's housewarming.
Was she? I don't remember
Yeah,
seeing.
that Wendy was like, okay, let her be. I remember.
Hmm.
Shopwright, it wasn't Jacqueline on at Ashley's housewarming.
You know what? I thought I saw her there too, but she just recently said that she's not on the show this season. But I think she was there.
She was
Let me
there. That Wendy was
see
giving
when.
her an attitude. Wendy,
No, no,
when
no,
Wendy
no,
saw
no,
her,
no, no. That wasn't Jacqueline. That was Deborah. Deborah was there, not Jacqueline.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
okay,
Deborah
right.
is
okay,
the
that
one
was
that said that Chris was trying
Deborah.
to talk to her.
Oh,
That's
yeah, 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 that was Deborah. Oh, yeah, yeah, that was not Jacqueline. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I knew
wasn't
it was there.
Jacqueline.
Yeah.
That wasn't Jacqueline. That was Deborah. Okay, okay. So she was blotting out everything to Neka. One thing I found surprising was that Neka said she was literally upstairs. She was like, "Oh, she kept on blotting everything about Mia for 2 hours, and she couldn't pay my tab." The first question was like, "Why did you sit down for 2 hours listening?" That means she found the gossip interesting. Because if you were not finding it interesting, you would have sat down there for 2 whole hours. And I didn't
Exactly.
understand the joke about you should have at least paid. I think Neka, when it comes to train jobs, she thinks she's very great in the punchline, but I feel like her jobs sometimes do not really land. Maybe she should go and take a class on some reality Real Housewives or other ladies how they throw jobs, but sometimes our own don't really land because I didn't understand where it went from. Oh, at least you should have paid my tab. It looked somehow to me because for me, I felt like you sat down for 2 hours, you listened. At least you listened. I would not literally be sitting down in a conversation for 2 hours with somebody if I didn't find what you were saying to me interesting or engaging.
Yeah, but I
That
thought,
was my own point of view.
yeah, I thought Mia was her girl though. You know,
Jacqueline,
no, Mecca.
Neka.
Yeah, Mecca. I thought that Mia was her girl. You know, I thought they kind of hung out a little bit, and you know,
Yeah.
at least had some type of friendship. You know, and to sit back for 2 hours listening to gossip, girl, please. You know, if she wasn't interested in hearing it, she could have made any excuse to leave after like 45 minutes. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
long enough to eat your meal, order your meal, eat your meal, have your little drink, have your little girl talking
Mm-hmm.
guy, you know. But yeah, she was there for it. No, it gives
Yeah.
her more of a storyline and more things for her to talk about later.
Yeah, and why was Sharice sitting up talking to Jacqueline? She probably thought Jacqueline was going to be on the show this season and was trying to get a moment. And then Jacqueline said on Instagram the other day that she, because I guess they showed a sneak peek of this scene, and Jacqueline was like, "Why are they even talking about me? I'm not even on the show this
Yeah.
season." Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. And Jacqueline didn't
Well,
like what Neka said
everybody
about
needs,
her
yeah,
one
everybody
bit.
needs a storyline.
What did you have to say about the way Neka was trying to jab at Jacqueline after sitting down in the conversation for 2 whole hours and listened? But you're coming to your confessionals to throw jabs.
I don't, I don't have a problem with NECA. I don't. I think she's trying to get her legs. She's navigating this whole reality TV thing, and we have to give her some credit. She does live in Potomac, and she does come from money. So, I mean, that is something that, as a producer, I would appreciate in a new cast member, unlike some of these other people who are on there who didn't come from money, don't have any money. I mean, she's like the quintessential housewife. I think she just needs to get her footing. And unfortunately, she decided to take this angle with this whole Wendy thing. That was unfortunate that she took that angle as opposed to other things. But perhaps that's what they chose to show us of her, this conflict between she and Wendy.
What is that? Sorry.
She'll be all right. Her makeup looked really bad, though. I do have to say that. At the
Yeah.
event, it was like almost yellow. It was like horrible. Her
Sorry,
foundation.
sorry I yelled. So was kind of playing music in the background. So I was like trying to shout. What was that?
Oh, we didn't hear you.
You were talking about her foundation. What happened to her foundation?
The color didn't match. The color was awful. When she came to the
Exactly.
brunch, it was
I think
horrible.
she always does that. Her makeup is not always matching with her skin. That's one thing I noticed.
It's
I don't know whether it's her
frustrating.
makeup artist or herself. Sometimes we tell our makeup artist what we want on our face. Like I want myself brighter than my skin tone, or I want myself darker
Yes,
than my skin tone.
I think
So
that's what it is.
probably she's the one that tells her makeup artist this is what I want. But every time I see her makeup go on her confessionals and when she steps out, it's always like, "Ah, it's not matching. Like I don't I don't
It was
get.
so bad. It was yellow. It was horrible, and
Every
it didn't make any
it
sense.
looks like it was flaky, like the powder was like about to fall off from
Oh
her
no,
face.
it was so bad, and it doesn't make any sense because there's so many different colors of foundation now that you can match.
Yeah.
They're not even trying to match her neck. It's just, it was horrible. And then that red lipstick just made it look worse. And the fact that,
Oh my
oh,
God.
is
Oh,
Wendy coming? Is Wendy here? Like, why are you asking about Wendy?
okay. Good. Thank God we talked about this right
Oh,
now.
oh, so sorry.
No, I was like, thank God you talked about this. Like when she sorry, what am I changing this? Like when she actually had the conversation between when Candice was talking to Wendy, right? Why did she if I was her, I've already heard from the phone that she's not coming. Why did I have to bring it up again? I thought for like Ashley said, for the both of them good. It was better for Wendy not to be there. Because in my mind, you know what I was thinking? In my mind, I was like, okay, if Wendy actually thought that Neka's mother was going to be there, then she brought her own mother. Then imagine two Nigerian mothers, right?
Mm,
Trying to fight for their daughters. Huh?
mm,
It was never going to end well. So I think in Wendy's mom, she was like, to avoid the disaster of two Nigerian mothers, and you will not be able to talk down your mother from protecting you on that protective mode when she goes on that protective mode. So I feel like Wendy made the right choice from my own perspective. She made the right choice for not coming in the event, even if really she had the boot club signing, whatever going on. But I think it was still the best option for her not to show up if she thought that Neka was going to be there with her mom to avoid, because of course we know Wendy was going to bring her mom.
right.
So to avoid issues, I love it. I love that she decided to make that decision not to come. Now, what I did not understand is she decided that I was not going to show my face to avoid disaster from happening of the two Nigerian mothers going after themselves, and from the same family for that matter. You get you decided that you were going to ask on the table. Oh wait, oh the person you were talking to was Neka, right? And was Wendy, right? Oh, why is she not coming? Why did she have to ask that? I think I said it when it happened. I said, why are these producers? Because I don't think that would be something that Neka should ask. I feel like the producers told her to ask. Why are the producers trying to make her look like probably she's kind of obsessive over Wendy? And probably if Wendy is not in any environment she cannot survive. She cannot just breathe. She cannot just have a storyline for herself. She cannot function because I didn't understand why she had to ask that question. It was like out of place. Why did you want Neka? Why did you want Wendy to be there? You already said you don't like her. She's not acknowledging. She's not accountable. If somebody is not taking accountability for something, or you don't like their presence or how things turns out between the both of you, are you not supposed to be satisfied that the person is not there?
Nope, because I'm not looking for you. Don't be looking for me.
So I don't understand why she asked that question. It was off for me.
Yeah,
And I felt
probably
for
they
me,
told her.
I felt it was his producers that told her to ask that question. For me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. But I think they are trying to create some conflict with these two because what else is going on in the season? Why is it that we have moved away from what Robin did last season? We're not even talking about that anymore. What else is going on? Yes, it's cute to have the girls on the show, the kids, but we don't need to keep seeing that sort of thing going on. Okay, Grace is going away to college. Okay, that's sad. That's great. It's all of that. But Giselle, what else are you giving us? So the dynamic
Mm,
between these two, and I know how you feel about NECA, but I still think that Wendy is trying to dodge her. I think that Wendy did not want her coming on the show. And now that we see her and her fabulous life with her father, who is a cardiologist, a top cardiologist,
right.
NECA's sister is a doctor. I don't know what the husband does, but she said that her sister is rich. So her sister must have more money than she does, and she's already shown us that she's living well. So I think that Wendy, there must be something there. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if she felt that perhaps this girl they're trying to replace me. I don't know what it is, but something is definitely there.
Social competition.
Yes, there is definitely
The,
something
the,
there.
the thing is in families there's always that.
Mm,
there is always that competition, especially when okay, let's say in a Nigerian household. And I understand why she's a lawyer. Her sister is a doctor. In Nigerian homes, the only profession you should have is either you be a doctor or you be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
No other profession, they don't value any other profession as a profession. It's just nowadays, it's just recently that people are beginning to open their eyes to realize that it's not compulsory you must be a doctor, it's not compulsory you must be a lawyer. But at that time when they were growing up, that was the
What about an
uh
engineer? What about an engineer?
they don't rate that.
Oh
We
wow.
value when you say my child is in school studying medicine. Oh wow, you're the biggest talk of the town. Or my child is in school in law school. Wow, you are a big man. For you to be able to take your child study medicine, to be in a law school. Oh, then you just accomplished something. That's how parents were at that
So
time.
it's the
So I understood, and
higher learning and higher academics is what's
yes.
important.
Yes, and in families they'll be like, oh, the first lawyer in the family, the
Mm-hmm.
first doctor in the family. It's always a competition when it comes to Nigerian families. I do understand that part between Wendy and Neka, and I
Mm-hmm.
that is why probably because I've been in I am in Nigerian, and I know the competition that it is in family, and I know sometimes it's exhausting, and I know sometimes you go into depression when you're being compared. And I
Right.
will tell you, I would do the same thing that Wendy is doing. I would literally avoid you for my own sanity. It
Mm.
might be coming off as bad because we are watching it from a perspective of okay, we don't really understand what is going on. But if I look at it as the dynamics of how Nigerian families are and the serious competition, you might think it's outside your competing you have competition with. It's not, it's your family members. And some of these parents, they put that thought in the children. Like, yes, you're supposed to be in this competition with this person. How will you be here and Wendy is doing this? What do you think you're doing? Wendy is accomplishing this. Oh, Neka is accomplishing this. What are you doing with your life? There's this thing that goes on. You have those thoughts being told to you, and you're being like, wow, this same person from my family. You go to gatherings, like they even isolate you. And there's a lot of things. I
Oh,
understand when this
geez.
point of you were saying something.
No, I said, oh, geez, isolation.
Yeah. Yes, because you there's already this thing that Wendy's father was not in the picture. That's like
Oh,
one thing that is bad for her.
okay.
And that is what is good for Aneka. She has her dad in the picture, she has her mom in the picture, she's complete. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Wendy has a dad off the picture. That's already a stigma, like, a single mom. Oh, then you have a single mom struggling to make her children better. You have so many names labeled to you, they cannot be anything, they cannot accomplish things. Then with that happening between the family, people are like, oh, let's say now that Wendy accomplished something for herself, she made a name for herself, she has now accomplished something, she's now on a big reality TV show in the US, she's known. When she comes home in Nigeria, she's loved, she's
Mm-hmm.
appreciated, she's celebrated as a celebrity, right?
Right.
Then your
Mm-hmm.
brain's now looking at her like, how is it that Wendy is accomplishing this without having a father? And you have a father and a mother, you're not accomplishing this. Do you have two heads?
Mm.
Those things are the things that are being said.
So
And
well,
I'm not
wait.
going
So
to lie.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So what I'm trying to understand. So the kids are being regular, everyday people are being compared to celebrities.
No, I mean, they are being compared with as like, I'm
I mean,
using
like
Wendy
if I
and
was just
Neka.
also you're saying these two families are being compared to each other, not just like a regular
Yes.
person who's okay. I thought you meant like just a regular person has now
No,
the
I'm saying
like,
that Wendy is like, it would be like Wendy without a father could accomplish this for herself. in the picture. There was no father in the picture, but she could accomplish this for herself. She ended up getting this big platform on the Real Housewives. She ended up being liked. She ended up being loved. Then she comes back to Nigeria. She's worshipped. She's adored, right? Then you that you had a mom, you had a dad, you had opportunities that Wendy didn't have, and you cannot achieve that same stuff. Do you have two heads? That is the kind of things that go on in those families,
Mm.
So I
right?
guess
I've
I'm
had
kind of confused. So I want to know who's doing the comparing. Who is making the comparison?
the
You're saying
parents
of these two families, or just regular people living in Nigeria are making the comparison? That's what
of
I'm
the
trying.
families, like in between the family.
Of these two families. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Of these families, they say they are connected through, I don't know which other way they're connected. Said their families or distant or whatever. But it's like a regular competition. Sometimes you're not in competition with somebody outside, you're in competition with your own family members.
Right.
Okay, okay, I get it.
Because I remember there was a time I had my dad then before he worked out on us. He sat me down and be like, "How will you be here and your younger sister will be making it than you?" You know, and
Mhm.
those kind of things will make you think like, "Wow, am I really losing it in life? Like, am I really making the right choices?" So sometimes it's the competition we have in between in built as family members. The parents has put those things in our head, and that's why I say that this thing might have been that the parents has put those things in the kids have felt obligated, like, yeah, I want to do better for my parent, I want to shine out. Some of these things, some children end up being doctors not because that's what they love, but because that's what their parents wanted them to become.
What if the child doesn't have the intelligence to be a doctor or a lawyer? Then what happens to those kids?
Ah, you have to have that intelligence.
I mean, like, what if you can
You
tell like your child is struggling in school, they're really having difficulty? Are you going to keep trying to pressure that kid to be a lawyer or a doctor when
some
you say,
some some of them, tend to pressure them a lot. I'm saying it because these are the things I went through in my own family. You get pressured a lot. Then you get compared to people, and you be like, then you look at yourself and be like, I don't have two heads. They have one head, I have one head. What am I doing wrong? And that competition they've inbuilt in your head, then you imagine somebody that you've been told about this person. Oh, this person is doing better than you. This person doesn't have two heads. This person is a lawyer. This person is a this person has accomplished this. Then you see the person that you're being compared to every single day. Tell me, would you ever see that person and be like, yeah, you're welcome into my presence? It's the trauma. You just be like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with this person. I don't want to have that internal, competition with this person. I don't want to.
Oh,
There were
that's
some
hard.
people, there were some people I had to stop having regular communication with them in between my families that were the same age mates, because we were being compared and I felt a certain kind of way. But probably because I decided that before anything went over, I decided that, man, my mental health was important to me than any other thing. Then I decided to dissociate myself so as not to go into depression and start thinking, oh, wow, this person is doing better, I'm not doing as better as this person. What's going on with me? So I had to dissociate myself. A lot of people don't know how to do that for themselves, and a lot of people don't realize that you can get depressed. A lot of people don't realize that these things are bad, and then they have this internal competition with you in your head, in their head. So that's why I said this thing. When people talk about, they be like, they judge Wendy, they judge Neka. I be judging Neka because I feel like she acted childish by talking about the witchcraft thing. That's the only thing I have with her. That's my only issue. You don't say that. We don't have this kind of conversations in Nigeria. But when it comes to, I've always said it that this thing is beyond the witchcraft thing. It's a family thing, and it didn't start with Neka and Wendy.
Mm.
It started from probably their parents. It didn't start with Neka, so they are inheriting the beef. And as much as Neka and this thing has inherited the beef, their own children too might inherit the beef too against themselves. So it's a revolving circle. It's a very huge revolving circle. It's just most people nowadays decide, okay, no, you know what? I just want to be off this drama. I'm not interested in this drama. I'm going to shift myself from the drama. My question is, you say you're a very renowned lawyer. You say you have your life going for you. Why don't you show us that? Why is it that you are looking for Wendy to have a beef with? Why is it that you want to prove me wrong that Wendy is a bad person?
She has to have an angle to be on this show. Come on, we have to remember that this is a show. She has to have a
I
storyline.
know that it has to be a
I
show. Okay,
know. I
it
know.
lasts this season. What will happen next season?
Well,
Will
hopefully,
continue in?
I don't know what they're gonna do next season, but I saw something that she said recently that something else is gonna come up. I think you even said that, right? That something else is gonna come up between the two of them, and it's going to, I guess, be a revelation because there's some other things. I think Wendy's gonna get, huh? Say that again.
I know they said it in the trailer, but I don't know exactly what's the thing.
Yeah, we
That
don't
was
know what it is yet, but I think that I do believe Wendy did not want her coming on the show, and I think Wendy's gonna we're gonna be surprised, I guess, once this other thing comes out
what
because
if the thing comes out and you just look at it and be like, what was Neka saying from the beginning? It didn't make sense. It doesn't make
well, she
sense.
has to have some relevance on the show, so we have to give her some credit for that. At least she came
No,
on the
that's
show with
no. I give her the props.
okay, okay,
I've said it that if not because of Neka, we would not have a season. If
right,
not because
good
of
point.
Neka, there wouldn't be a season of RHOP. And because, but what is upsetting to me is that I feel like they just brought her as an implant to cover Gizelle and Robyn.
That's a good point.
It's like a cover story because where is Giselle's storyline? We don't see it. But nobody's asking because everybody's asking what is wrong with Neka? Why is she doing like this? Why is she behaving like this? Where is Robin's storyline? What is going on? The covered hand one storyline and everything with Neka. They are always pushing. Is that they are trying to make Neka look like a child in our front, or they're trying to say, oh, this witchcraft thing, we're gonna push it to our face. They will makes us we forget about Robin, we forget about Giselle, we forget about how bad they've been or the things they say that we don't like. And I think that she may let herself be used as an escape or a cover up for those two women. And I don't like it.
When you get a chance, Candice did an interview today. It just came out about 2 hours ago, where she's
Yeah.
talking about yes. Did you see it?
I didn't see the interview.
Okay, yeah, it just came out like 2 hours ago. It was on Angela Yee's channel. What is it called?
Okay.
Way Up with Angela Yee. So when you guys get a chance,
Okay.
watch that.
Okay.
Did she say anything relevant in the interview?
I didn't finish it. I was watching it on my way home from work. But yeah, she started off saying some relevant stuff, just kind of talking about the show and how she felt that, talking about Gizelle and that she did
Yeah.
not realize that she didn't realize, well, how do I put this? Did you guys see that Carlos King YouTube episode where he said something about Candiace being iced out?
Yeah, they're trying to.
Okay, yeah. So she
Yeah.
said she didn't realize that until she saw Carlos King break that down. And now as she can look back, she can see some of the things that were going on. So yeah, when you guys get a chance, watch it. It's so far so good.
Mm, okay.
What the thing is, when it comes to Neka and Wendy, um, did you guys see the trailer for next week's episode? When it comes to Neka and Wendy,
Yes.
no. The
I
fact
don't
is,
remember it.
I really don't want to watch that next week's episode. Because, because I was like, what again? Not again. Why is it that when the both of them are together, they just can't let us go? One of you have to let it go. Neka especially, let it go, please. And now, she talked about the fact that you called my mom a witch, you did this, you did it, you expect me to still be cordial with you. It's not possible. And Neka is using the excuse like, oh, you called me. I forgotten what Neka said. You insulted me, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, Neka didn't say you did this to me. There's no, like, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing that is definite that he said, like, Wendy did this to me exactly. Let her tell me, Wendy like told me to my face, I don't want you on the show, and show me the receipts. I believe that really did happen, right? But
Mhm.
let her focus on that. And yes, Wendy didn't want me on the show. She told me that, but you chimed that in, even if that was what happened, but you used the witchcraft to cover it up, to overshadow the story like that Wendy didn't want you there. For the few episodes, a lot of people were not talking about probably Wendy didn't want her there. A lot of people kept on focusing on the fact that started talking about witchcraft and shrines, you know. So I feel like I I want her to get to that part where they said there will be a definite thing. Like Wendy said, I don't want to talk about this. I support Wendy in saying she doesn't want to talk about it because I myself don't want to listen to what they have to say because they'll still go back to the witchcraft and whatnot. And I'm not interested in that convo. It's like, for me, listening to it is like an insult to me, listening to it. And especially when I know it's being like the information is not concrete, it's not truthful. So I don't want to listen to that. And I will stand with Wendy and say, let's stop talking about it. But of course, we know the producers are pushing Neka to keep on talking about it. Like Neka has, look, okay, shop reality, let's be truthful. Neka has other storylines she could have said, she could have brought up to the table. And by so doing, a lot of people will still would be. If Neka had brought her genuine self. Now Neka has brought this self that nobody likes, right? Nobody likes her in the season. How do you think she's gonna be received in next season? I'm thinking for the future because I want to see Neka in next season.
Well, I think that the storyline, I personally find it interesting. I know, some people are turned off by it, but at least she's establishing her presence. Remember the other lady that was there a couple seasons ago? I can't remember her name. The one, she was from Eritrea or Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't even remember her. I mean, she came on. What was her storyline? I don't even remember. But at least NECA has this storyline, the situation with Wendy. I think it's fascinating. I can't wait to find out how this turns out. I think Wendy is trying to cover something up. We never saw Wendy talk about being Catholic. Now she's doing the rosary. I don't know what it's called when you make the cross. She's doing all of these different things. We had not
Mm-hmm.
seen her do any of this stuff before. So now she's like
But,
overly religious this season. I'm sorry.
but the thing is that most of those ladies, we don't see them do a lot of things, and all of a sudden we see them doing it. We just
Well, but
can't judge after that.
yeah, because it's consistent with this storyline. It's consistent with
Yeah,
the
of
storyline.
course. If I know that somebody is literally going to be calling me a witch, I'm gonna turn into a Christian, a very holy
Right.
Christian.
Right.
Of
So that's what
course,
it
I'm
appears
gonna
that she's
turn that.
doing.
I'm not gonna allow you label me. I think she was doing that to debunk it, not because of people in the US or any other place. She was doing it for people back home,
Oh, okay.
not to believe the storyline because people will be like, "Oh, she's not a Christian, so at the end of the day, what else would she be?"
I see. Yeah, because we weren't getting any of this from her before. Now the first
Yes,
communion, oh, the shrine, and now the mother. Now the mother has talked like that before. We've heard the mother discussing, religious stuff before. But with Wendy, we
yeah,
weren't hearing all of this. But there is something going on. The text messages of her and now
yeah.
pretending like they don't know Lebe, and you know Lebe. It seems to me like they did not want this lady coming on the show. Fear of competition, fear of she may replace me. There's something going on there. And I hopefully we're gonna
It
find out
might
what it is.
it might be fear of competition. It might be fear of being replaced. It might be fear of my life is more glamorous than mine, right? It might be fear of, oh,
Hmm.
I don't want another Nigerian lady being on the show. It might be any of those things. But the fact is that it goes both ways. It might also it might also be that she also came with an agenda like, you know what, I'm gonna chase you off the show. You're not gonna be the only popular person in Nigeria.
That's true. That's true. I mean, that could be
Because
it. That could be it.
the way NECA, you know what I'm talking about this when NECA came in, because NECA was in Nigeria during the festive period, right? The way she was trying to flaunt, I was like, mm-mm. A lot of people were like, mm-mm, you're not doing it for us, girl. Just move aside. The way she was almost in every event, always flaunting, taking pictures with, you know, being in events, taking pictures with people. People were like, you were just on the first episode of Real of Potomac, and we don't really like you there. So
Mhm.
move. A lot of people were literally not happy with her. Here back home, people were not happy with her. So I feel like the reason why Wendy took religion so serious because of not because of you guys, because of we back home in Nigeria, the Nigerian people, even the Nigerians over in the US. She was doing it for that because, of course, if you're not a Christian, what else will you believe it as? Oh, truly, she does practice that religion. That's the next thing that people will say. So she's doing that for me. I feel she's doing that because I will do that if I know that you're gonna call me a witch. Oh, I will carry, I will pray the rosary, I will drink holy water for you to believe that yes, I don't practice that. Because, like, when you say some kind of bad words over there, it's a very bad word here. And it cost a lot of people a lot of things. People lose their life over it. People get hated. People get outcasted. People get death threats over that single word she said. She's lucky that she's saying it in the US actually. She's
Mhm.
actually lucky that it's a show on the US she's saying it. If it was literally on a show, if it was probably a Real Housewives of Lagos in Nigeria, she said that. Oh my God. They would have kicked her off the show immediately. Immediately. The way they would have asked, I like removed her, like it would just be like she would just vanish from the show. That's how the word is not really a word that you publicize over here. I can't really even sit down and have a conversation with someone and openly be like, "Oh, let's discuss about witchery." It's not like it's not something you just open. You have those kind of conversation in in closed rooms in your house where you know there's only you and your family or you and your friends. It doesn't leave that place. That's just it. That's how bad it is. So I don't know. For me, I don't want to hear the storyline at all. I'm tired. I'm tired. Let her, she's living a glamorous life. She's rich. See her house. Very big and beautiful. Let her tell me about that. Let her tell me about her journey on trying to get children. Let her tell me about her family. I believe her family will have a nice dynamic.
Those are all
Like, let her
boring.
tell.
Those are all boring, and they've been done before. This
We need
shrine
men.
stuff is more salacious.
Oh my god. It's more like that for you guys, not for
Right.
us.
That's true. I agree. So
Because
that's just like
if
if you guys were like talking about like gangster rap and all that kind of stuff, we'd be like,
yeah,
why are they discussing gangster rap? It's more to him than the
exactly.
gangster rap. I see what you mean.
So it's more interesting and intriguing to you guys, and it's what's just like it's like something that's so irritating to the ears. If you watch every Nigerian reviewer or a blogger, nobody is actually happy about hearing the storyline. I think there was. Did you see that Essence read on the show?
No, but they
The
were
Essence
talking
magazine.
about it. Somebody was talking
Yeah,
about it on yeah, I got to go watch it. I mean, got to
the
go read
read.
it.
I
Yeah.
the read was complete, was perfect. the person, the lady, it was a Nigerian lady. She the person that wrote the article took what a Nigerian lady said on her channel. I don't know who that person was, but that was a perfect read. The problem with Neka and Wendy, especially Neka because she's new, is because she took Nigeria as her personality. She came in and took Nigeria as her personality. That's it. She did not she did not really show the good side of Nigeria. I've said it. I think when we were reviewing the show earlier today, and I said, I think this moment I don't want to see any Nigerian on any reality TV shows because they find a way to make me disappointed in being a Nigerian. The things they say, the way they say things, you'll be like, oh wow, Jesus Christ. Am I really a Nigerian? And most of these things, when people say it, some people will take it and be like, oh, that's how the whole Nigerians think. That's how we think, that's how we do things. That's they don't clarify it enough to make you understand that it's just a specific group of people. It's not the whole Nigerian that think like that. And there is no Nigerian that will sit down listening to it and be like, wow, kudos to you, you did an amazing job, you've been great. And that's why we liked Wendy, because Wendy doesn't go around talking about Nigeria in a bad light since she entered the Real Housewives. Is there been any time you've heard Wendy say about Nigeria in a bad light?
No.
Exactly. That's why Wendy is liked. We like people that when you see Nigerians praising all the Nigerians that are in any part of the world that is doing great, it's because they're not spoiling or making people feel as if Nigeria is a bad country. But when you go there and start making Nigeria look like a bad country, we don't communicate with you, like you're like a no. Especially with someone that with class, you have that education, you are a lawyer, you have education, you were in Nigeria for so long time. Like, give me a break. Give me a very huge break. I'm just taking my time. Every week I watch the episode, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't find it entertaining again. I don't find it entertaining. And to see that next week again, we're going to have this banter between the both of them about the witchcraft thing and everything. Can they just tell us the real story? I would appreciate it, and they should stop this witchcraft thing. Tell us the real story. Let's know. Yes, Wendy did not want me here. I understand. Then I'm gonna blame Wendy all I want to. Then her fans will come in support of her. Of course, her fans are gonna support her, no matter what. But at least just give us the real story. What exactly really happened? Bring Lebe. Let Lebe say her story. Let Lebe give her own version. You know,
Now that's a
instead of
storyline.
exactly instead of them making Neka every time look like a baby. That episode where she was doing thumbs down to Neka, she looked like when a child, two children are fighting, like what they would do, not adults. So they're making her look like, oh, this she's running cray cray. And I feel bad for her because she's a Nigerian sister. She's my sister, so I feel bad for her because I wouldn't want that for my own sister. And she should please learn how to do her makeup better because people always see her online for it. People are always coming online for her makeup. Her makeup be looking so much horrible every time, every single time. But anyways, moving forward, we got to see the event was glorious, was nice, but we also had a conversation between uh um we had a conversation between
Cherie.
Cherise and Ashley. I want to ask, why hasn't Ashley finalized a divorce? Because I'm confused.
I don't know. I mean, I would have signed it as soon as I got it. The ink wouldn't have been dried fast enough before I sent it back. Matter of fact, I would have walked it back into that attorney's office. But I don't know. I don't know.
Because I'm confused. You're saying you want to get a divorce. Are they planning to come back together? If they're planning to come back together, they should let us know.
Maybe it's
Because
just
this
long
divorce,
separation.
yeah, the thing is that let them be honest. Let them be honest. Okay, we just had a separation. We're trying to see whether we can come back together. You get, but don't be coming to deceive us. Oh, we're getting a divorce, and a divorce is still pending. How long is it gonna keep being pending? Doesn't make sense to me. But I guess we'll continuously see how that will be. Let's see how Ashley. She has told us in the episode, stop asking me when I will divorce my ex-husband. So I guess we would realize. And I realized also that Ashley doesn't have a storyline to this season.
No, she doesn't.
Ashley doesn't. But anyway, let's get to the text message. So after the text message between Candy sending to Robyn to come to the show, she decided to reply and said, thanks for the text. I'm not sure I'm going to be getting together amongst a group. Is the best idea for us right now. Maybe we should find time to speak one on one sometime soon. And um, Candice replied, I understand your feelings. I hope you reconsider. But if you don't, then yes, let's speak soon away from the group. They then decide to speak away from the group. How did you feel about this communication? Did you think they had effective communication, or the both of them were trying to prove each other right? Like I'm the right one, you're the wrong one. So therefore, they didn't really communicate. Because for me, I felt like the both of them were trying to be like, "Oh, I'm the right one, you're the wrong one." So there was not really a good communication between the both of them.
Right. I just kind of, I listened to both of them. I remember, what was going on in the past, what was said and who said what. And, you know, I understand how Robyn felt simply because this is supposed to be like my little sister. And so what if the whole world is saying stuff about me? Why do you have to
Hey,
repeat it if, you
yeah,
know, I'm loving you and you're supposed to be loving me? I'm looking out for you. You're supposed to be looking out for me. I get that part, but then you got to understand everybody is not going to be the same friend to you as you are to them, you know.
exactly.
So, and then I understood Candace's point as far as, you're keeping information away from the fans, this, that, and the other, you know, um, that's not right. It's not within your contract. This is a reality TV show. And, you should show all aspects, and then again, when Robyn said, hey, the intimate things that I choose not to share and that gets shared, if I'm forgiving it, I'm not going to sit back and let you just trash and drag my husband because he's mine. He's my husband. You know, so I seen both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? I just want them to come to a conclusion that no, they're not going to be friends. Keep it pushing, being cordial to each other, and carry on.
Exactly. I also felt that way that the both of them, and I also think that Robyn did not come in here with a mindset that they were gonna squash their issue. That's another thing. You
Right.
know, is the way you go into something that determines how the thing is gonna turn out. So if I'm going with the mindset like, I'm just dragging my feet, let me just show up, let it be that I showed up, I think that was the mindset she came in here with. She just came with the mindset of let me just show up. She didn't really come in here with a mindset of, you know what, I'm trying to let us resolve whatever issue or whatever problems we have. I don't think she came with that mindset. One, that aside. And like I said earlier on, the both of them were trying to prove I'm the right one and you're the wrong one. And that's not effective communication.
Right.
That's not how you try to resolve an issue. If the both of you are trying to prove that, okay, I'm the right one, you're the wrong one. Sometimes I think when it comes to conflicts, sometimes when you really, really want to resolve it, you sometimes there's one person that will just have to be like, you know what, okay, fine, I was wrong. I
Right.
accept the fact
I
that
mean,
I
I
was
didn't.
wrong.
Yeah, I didn't really see that happening simply because,
Exactly.
when Robin first came in, I seen the tone that, um, oh God, now her name just slips my mind. Um, what is her name? Oh, jeez.
Who are you trying to talk to? Candice?
Yeah, Candace. I seen the tone for the meeting that she set. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So her tone, as me as a person, when I come in, I read a room. You know what I'm saying? And if I
Mhm.
see that you have set your tone and agenda, if I see that you set your tone and agenda, you know, I, I'm gonna act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Mhm.
about to bow down, especially when I feel my way. It's fine that you feel your way. If we're not gonna agree, then we're not gonna agree. So I think that Candace set the tone of this meeting. I mean, just with her body language, her the way she was looking like, uh, I'm better than you are, and I didn't start this, and you did this, and you did that, and I don't understand why you turned against your friend. That was fake, and you know, you guys needed a storyline, that kind of stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, I would have been on the defensive too, and protected how I felt, because of how you're coming at me.
Mhm.
So yeah, Candace, she set the tone of that whole meeting that it wasn't gonna go good.
Yeah, I
You know?
feel like, and like I said, I feel like they are also setting up all for Candice to be hated this season. Because the replay they did was like, as if Robin was the good one, as if Robin didn't do anything bad. But we watched the season, we saw how it played out, right?
Right,
But I think they're setting Candice up to be a bad guy, and it's not fair to her. And I feel like as far as Robin is Giselle is at the as in talking ears of Robin. Robin will never want to listen or want to be like, okay, fine. I think at this moment we need to reconcile our differences.
right. Now,
I don't
I,
think
I don't think that.
they'll
Yeah, I don't think that Candace really sets herself up. Candace is just, she says some off the chain stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder
Mhm.
why her and Monique had got into it, because Candace, you know, for a little girl, you know what I'm saying, that can't fight, and you always saying some crazy stuff about people. You know what I'm saying? And then when they challenge you about what you say or your mouth, then you want to cry and become the victim. You know what I'm saying? She starts a lot of this stuff. With her slide little reads and remarks during her little private interviews and stuff. You
Mhm.
know, I don't understand that. I,
But the
I don't
thing
know
is
if that
that,
if I don't know
like
if that to make her more relevant.
but the thing is that she says something which is true. All of them do the same thing. They all do it.
But yeah, They do, but I
The
just
only difference is that Candice can be very has have a huge landing. She's very good at it. But the truth is that every housewife does it. Whenever they go on interview, they try to be petty in every way. They try to shade who they don't like. Giselle did it. She had an interview with Andy, I
mm,
think last 2 weeks. She
mm,
did the same thing. She was trying
mm.
to be petty with Candace. So I think that all of them do it.
Yeah, I don't
But
get
the
it
only
because
thing that is different is that Candice own, there are some people that when they speak to you, you will regret even trying to start a fight with them. Their words hurt than when they beat you up.
right,
And I think that is how Candace is. Her words, when she decides to be hurtful, she she hurts you to the core. So when it comes
right.
to words exchange, Candice is always gonna be the winner.
Yeah, but then don't be surprised when you get that beat down, and don't start crying like you the victim. You know what I'm
I don't think
saying?
she's actually crying as a victim. I think she's only saying that you did know about what the situation was, and she feel like her friend. I would have felt the same way. You were leaning into the fact that Giselle was trying to say Chris was being inappropriate. The only
Right,
reason I would feel like that, and she feel like, oh, the only reason why you were leaning into that is because you were trying to cover your own mess that was happening in your own life. You didn't want it to come up, so you pushed for it more, so as for your own mess not to be exposed. I would think like that too.
right. But I was saying more of her crying the victim is, with her in that Monique situation. She cried the victim. You know what I'm saying? You started it. Things didn't go as planned. And now you feel like you're the victim, and everybody's turning against you. Okay, but now you're starting more stuff. You didn't learn from last time, you know, that like your insults, and how you calling these women out of their names. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're too little for that. You know what I'm saying? You can't run with the big girls, you know?
Mhm.
So it's just I don't get the throwing the insults and the name calling. I guess it's what they do to keep their names out there so they could be more relevant. You know, I don't know. But like I said, she set the tone for this little interaction. And the way it was set up, it wasn't gonna end good.
Well,
Because
at the end of the
if that's your sister, why are you gonna come at her like that? Wouldn't you come with more of a softer approach? Because they've been over. Hey, you said that you did this. You've been over that. And nothing really
yeah,
came out of it. So if you're trying to, you know, get things back to how they used to be, when you choose a softer approach.
yeah. Well, at the end of the day, all of them are all guilty of it, and the show is boring. Um, I think they need better storylines. I think because now Giselle is trying to, she doesn't have a storyline. Robin is trying to hide her in one situation. She's not trying to make too much attention for her to be noticed. Wendy and Neka, oh, that's exhausting. Who
Yes.
else? Mia, I don't even know where she's going to. Well, at the end of the day, I think they need a real shake up because all of them are not giving. I think most of them just show up for that check, nothing else.
Yep, and they're only going to give us what they want to give us.
Mm-hmm. They're just here for the check. Uh,
Exactly.
anyways, I guess we've covered every other thing in the episode. We even tried. With nothing, we still did an hour plus. Wow. Wow. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us and watching with us. Don't forget to like and comment on our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our individual YouTube channel. We have Unfiltered Uzo. We also have Shoprite. She was here earlier on. Don't forget to subscribe to our individual YouTube channel. And don't also forget to turn on the post notification to get notified when we upload a video. We'll see you guys next week. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.